come with me to Dollar Tree so we can get some art supplies. Holy Valentine's balloons, guys. I think they need more. And then this guy. He's not gonna make it, guys, I don't think. Rest in peace. Quick stop into stickers because look how cute this little cake is. But okay, back to the mission. I always start all my art with a good like ink pen, so I guess these will have to do. We'll see how they are. And let's look around at the art supplies and see what they have going on. Little sidetracked, but you guys, Google eyes in bulk. I love a good Google eye. If you know, you know. And we've made it to the paints, and some of these paints have seen better days. Oh man, they are just all busted up. So these paints are pretty, they're shimmery looking. They don't really say what kind of paint they are. I assume they're a form of watercolor. And then we have these good old classic elementary school watercolors. And yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna get these just to try them out. And of course we have to get the one that actually says watercolors, and then maybe, oh no, not that one. Next, we're going to take a look at the acrylic paints for the second part of this video. But man, there's a lot of paints to look at. We have to see what they have. But glitter paint. Yes, I love a good glitter paint. But as you can see, there's a big variety here to look at. So make sure you're reading what they have. There's some tempera paints and different forms of acrylic paints. They don't look great, but we're going to try what we can and grab what we can. After some looking around, I think we're going to go mostly with these because they look the most comparable to my paints I use at home already. I use Delta brand cream coats, so we're going to grab a few colors of these. They don't have a lot of the colors I need though, so we're also going to look at these other acrylic paints. As you can see, there's big bottles of acrylic. I'm going to go with this lighter blue and a pink because, you know, then we can make our own purple. We're not going to spend all the money here. Still $1.25 now. $1.25 adds up, guys. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and also look for a nice stretched canvas that I could also use for this next video with the acrylics. I'm not going shopping twice. We're doing it all today. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of these paint trays. These are already pretty good. I've already tried them before, but let's get some more. And paintbrushes. The paintbrush selection is pretty whack. But we're gonna go ahead and grab these for watercolors. We'll try them out anyways and see how they are. And then one of these because this is pretty much comparable to what I already use at home. So let's grab one of those. And the sponges because I do love a good sponge to make some fun texture on the acrylic painting. And now back to watercolor. I just realized I don't have a watercolor pad of paper. So we're gonna go looking for something that we can use for our watercolor painting. And this section is not it. It's just big drawing paper. This is not what we want for watercolors. So we're gonna have to keep hunting around. Yeah, that's not it. Thankfully, one aisle over, they had some watercolor pad paper. $3, so it's a little more expensive, but it's all they have, so we're grabbing it. With all of our Dollar Tree supplies in tow, we get to check out, go home, and start our little painting adventure. So come on back with me to my house. So come on into my art studio and take a look at our Dollar Tree haul. It came to about $28, but that does include a box of tissue for my house that obviously is not in this video. But yeah, we got all the watercolor and acrylic stuff, so let's get this painting video started. So again, we're going to be reviewing Dollar Tree art supplies, starting with the watercolor stuff. And we're going to compare it to the stuff I use at home already by doing the same exact piece with both Dollar Tree supplies and my own. This includes the paints, the brushes, the pads, and the paper. So let's go ahead and start. So right away, I am noticing that the pen is very fluid. I do like the pen, but it does seem like a little too much ink comes out at times, or it could be the paper because it does bleed a little bit into this paper pad. Maybe just this paper and this pen is not a good combo, but so far I can't knock the pen. I do enjoy it. Would draw with again. And the paper so far, not so bad. Yeah, I'm not complaining so far. And we're just drawing one of my cute little monster guys. I love drawing monsters. They're just a lot of fun. So here he is, and now we can break out the watercolors, which, you know, these brushes scare me. And here they are, classic ones, just like the ones we used to use in elementary school. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. And we're gonna start with this yellow. Yellow. You really have to work it in there to get any kind of color to come out. I don't know if it's the brush or the paint or a combo, but yeah, I promise there is color going onto this paper, and oh no, it is definitely bleeding a little bit. So I actually like using ink and watercolor because it bleeds, but this is a little excessive. As you can see, it's kind of just pooling. So yeah, I don't like so far that it's bleeding together that much. That might just be the pen or the paper, combination of the two, but not a good combo so far, but we're gonna keep going. So then we're going to go ahead and try to add some orange on here to see if we can get it to blend a little bit and just, you know, make some nice shades in here. And yeah, I'm not happy with that. That was a poor choice on my end. Yeah, we're going to forget that we did that and move on. So I'm kind of excited to bust these out. Maybe they will be more pigmented. They look super pigmented and shiny. So let's get into it. We're gonna get some green on here and try to make some happy grass and disappointment. Utter disappointment. Where is the paint? Hello? I mean, you can kind of see it when we do that, but it does not exist, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, maybe we need a bigger brush. It helped a little bit, kind of. Could we see it? I'm not crazy. There's paint on there. All right, I'm gonna give up on the green and go ahead and try getting some blue in there for like a little lake or something. And you know what? It's a little more visible than the green, but let's just throw that away and go back to the elementary school watercolors. Oh gee. But what's with this flaking? Already there is some paper flaking happening. There's bits of the paper coming up. And this is supposed to be straight up paper for watercolor. I shouldn't be seeing all the papers, you know, little tidbits ripping up here, but we are. So that's unfortunate, but it's fine. And now we're gonna go into the sky, and I'm noticing as I paint here that it's really not that pigmented, and maybe I'm just spoiled with the brand that I use because that one is super pigmented. I don't know. If you're a watercolor artist at home, what brand do you use, and is this kind of normal? I'm kind of new to watercolors as of like the last 2 years, so you know, I don't even know if I'm doing everything correctly, but I feel like this isn't that great. So now we're just going to move back on to what I usually do after I do that step, which is to go in with the pen and kind of go over the dry spots and do some fine detailing and some fun hatch work. This is kind of like the routine I do with my normal watercolors. I like to add like a lot of hatching and go over the lines again to make it, you know, make it pop, make it more bold. But automatically I'm having more bleeding again, which I know can happen if it's not that dry, but I let that dry on the inside for quite a bit now and it's still bleeding. So I don't know, it might just be the paper. I have a feeling it's the paper. Anyway, he's almost done here. He's looking real rough, guys, real beat up, but we're gonna go ahead and finish him so we can move on to trying to draw him again with my normal supplies. So here he is. He's having a bad time, guys. Don't judge him. You know, we can't all be pretty princesses. But now to bust out my normal stuff. This is what I normally use. I use the Canson Mixed Media and the Mailing watercolors. I got this off Amazon, and it is my go-to palette for watercolors. As you can see, it's a little bit of a mess in here. I absolutely adore this palette though. I will buy it over and over again. And for inking, I always use the Precise Fine Point, I think it's 0.7 pens, and I use the white or gold Taklon brushes. So yeah, so it's crazy that like right away I feel like the pen is just so much thinner than the last one, which, you know, it is a fine pen, but it's so much thinner. There's no bleeding happening, and that's why I like these pens. It's kind of a controlled bleed. When I want to use watercolors with the ink, I can make it, you know, I can pull it and have it shade how I want. So that's nice. I love these pens. I've loved these forever, and I'm continuing to love these. So far, no comparison. You can see it's so much nicer and thinner so far. And let me show you why these are my favorite watercolor paints. They are super pigmented. I can barely put any water in paint, and holy color. Like, do we see how bright this is compared to the last one? You can see there is very minimal bleeding between the ink and the watercolor itself. Again, that might be because of the paper, the pen, I don't know. It's the combo that works best for me though. Again, barely dipping it in that paint right there, and it's very super pigmented. Love it, super bright. So once I get it all colored, I do like to go through again with the brush and kind of pull some of the black ink off the sides to kind of shade a little bit. As you can see, it's just making a little bit of a darker yellow here around the ends, but I feel like I want it to be darker still, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of the orange and just see what I can do. As you can see here, it's very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. I just like to blend it in here into the corner and to the side and kind of pull it out to the middle. And I think he's looking pretty okay for just a quick little monster doodle. So we're gonna go ahead and go shift focus here and get that grass going. World's difference, as you can see. Boom, grass. We could see the color right away. It wasn't, you know, I didn't have to second guess if I had paint on the paper. So we like that. I like when I can see the color happening. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of blue because I wanna try to match the same piece, the same vibes. So with those vibes, let's go ahead and shift our focus yet again to the sky here in a minute and see how much more bright and intense it's about to be. Because holy wow, like, are you kidding me? Super pigmented. It's to the point I actually have to water this down quite a bit. I'm dipping my paintbrush in my water cup about 2-3 times here just to get the right amount of water to kind of blend this out. Because again, a little bit with this palette goes a super long way, and this is why it is my go-to. I kind of need to stock up. I feel like I don't want to try anything else. I just want to stock up on these and use this palette forever because the colors just make me so freaking happy. And if you're at home right now saying, but sprinkles, the sky's not pinkish red. Well, you know what? It is to me, okay? Art is subjective. We should have fun with it. Get crazy. Change the colors of the world to make it your own, okay? Okay. So after I'm done making my sky a pretty pink, I'm going to go ahead and touch up the grass just a little bit more because it just seems like there's not enough green there. So we're going to add just a little bit more. And then I'm going to bust out my pen. Earlier, I did mention I used a fine point. It is a Pilot fine precise pen. In case I didn't mention that it's a Pilot pen. So here I am using it to once again fill in all those empty blanks and do some hatching. It's a lot of work, but you see across a lot of my pieces, there's a lot of hatching. It just makes it feel more me. So you obviously at home don't have to be all hatch crazy, but I am, and that's okay. Anyway, while I'm sitting here doing all these lines, and that could be taken out of context, while I'm sitting here doing all this line work, what kind of pens do you guys prefer? Like, do you have a go-to pen that's just your absolute favorite? Is there a certain pen I should be trying out that I'm missing out on? Let me know. I prefer pens and ink over pencil. I don't even really own many pencils. I want to get into using them one day, but I'm just more comfortable using ink. So I just always, gravitate towards pens. So I would love to know which ones you guys use at home, because maybe I'll find a new go-to. But for now, this is what I use. So we're wrapping this one up here. We're just gonna finish the feet, and then I think we're gonna get in and start comparing the two. I think I want to definitely go in and give them some grass. So here I am doing that. I know it's not the Dollar Tree pen on the Dollar Tree side, but it's fine. It's just a little bit of line work for the grass. No one cares. If you do, I'm sorry. And I think we need to do just a little bit of shading under both their feet. We're just going to use a little brush with a little bit of water to pull from the ink that's already on the paper. You can see there's a little bit there, and the Dollar Tree, we're going to do the same on that side. And then I like to do white highlights on my art. I have this Signo pen I got sent to me a long time ago. It's barely working. I'm really trying here to make it work, and it's just being terrible. It's not coming out. Maybe it was the paper. No, it wasn't. No sprinkles. It was the pen. The pen just hates you. So here I am still trying to make it work and decided, you know what, we're throwing it away. So I'm using this Spectrum paint marker. I actually got it out of a art kit that I got for Christmas made by Jazza Studios. And it is actually one of my favorite paint markers. I definitely need more of these because they work on everything. And here it is. Here is the painting done with the art supplies from Dollar Tree versus the painting with the supplies from home. And I enjoyed it, but there's clearly a difference. I did like the pen. I will draw with this again, so that was pretty neat. Anyway, feel free to like and subscribe and stick around for part 2 when we jump into acrylics. Thanks, guys. Bye.